I am one of the co-founders and chief operating officer for the Stafford Boxing Club Incorporated, our nonprofit organization, which is a yearly mentoring program for at-risk youth in the community.
So we will be able to teach financial literacy, communication, discipline, decision making, as well as campaigning for a premium education.
These are the foundation for the Stafford Boxing Club, these 20 mentees in our program here at Panola Way Elementary School. 20 years from now, Stafford Boxing mentees will be known across the world.
What's up? What's good?
The
Stafford Show.
Oh, yeah. We back in it.
We here.
We in this big thing. I'm Stafford. That's Lady Stafford. Together, we are the Stafford Show. Host, co-host. What's up, everybody? What's good?
Oh, you're the hype man today.
Yeah, I'm the hype man today, man, because we had a great weekend. That is no cappuccino. I'm excited. I was putting on the front, but man, I have so much energy, so much enthusiasm about what transpired over the weekend. Shout out to everyone who will tune in to the Stafford Show. We greatly appreciate you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Talking Fight number 9. We're moving up the list on the top
boxing talk show on the internet.
Man, you gonna let me finish? You interrupt me, bro.
Oh, it looked like you were about to forget.
Nah. Talking Fight is ranked number 9 on the internet for top boxing podcast shows. So we are moving up the rank. We heading for that number 1 spot. We're making progress. Shout out to Eric and Grant. We appreciate you guys. So let's begin. Lady Stafford, let's go.
Oh, I want to send a shout out to Miss Sharika.
Oh, yeah.
We had a great time. I want to start off with that.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, I want to do that. We had a great time. It was this past Saturday, which was the 14th, of course, of October. We took our mentees from the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program to the GSU, Georgia State University, football homecoming game. And I want to say thank you to Miss Sharika because she blessed us. She blessed us abundantly
above and
to
beyond,
allow our mentees to experience some of the activities that you can do when you attend a university, such as GSU.
The Georgia State University, and you looking at I am GSU, and that is no cappuccino.
We had some great seats too.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about that. So anyway, we were fortunate enough to receive a package, and in this package we had we were behind the field goal post, so we were like second row back of the field goal post, and we had great seats. It was amazing. The kids had a great time. Even the food was good.
Yeah, the food.
We had
good.
Chicken tenders with waffle fries. Yeah. I didn't drink any type of fruit drink. I drank water, and you drank.
I drank half of the Minute Maid.
Yeah, because we really don't even drink that, but that's why.
But it did go good with that, though. I ain't even gonna lie.
I ain't gonna
because
lie.
We don't drink juice. We don't drink Minute Maid. We just drink water. Or every now and then I'll drink a sweet tea. But I ain't gonna lie, that Minute Maid was good.
Well, I ain't want to indulge in it, but anyway, the experience at Georgia State was amazing. The tailgating, it was off the chart. It looked like Little Freaknik, no cappuccino.
Yeah, they were barbecuing.
It was barbecuing. It was so live down there. You would have thought that it was a HBCU down there at Georgia State. It was live. I had to cover up, one of the little boys that's in the 4th grade in our program. I had to cover his eyes up. I was like, Jordan,
it was a lot going on.
It was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. I said, Jordan, what you looking at? I'm just looking around, Mr. Stafford.
And I really felt
cool.
like a mother.
It was
for the first time, I actually felt like a mother. The team that they were playing the opposing team.
Marshall.
The fans, or maybe it was some of the parents too, fans slash parents,
Alumni.
alumni, or even maybe their child might have been playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at how they were and how they were dressed and how they were interacting with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I kind of felt like for the first time because of how I was dressed.
Yeah.
It was just, I was just chilling. I was just comfortable. I had on the Stafford boxing tracksuit and I was warm. That was the most important thing. But I just liked how they were interacting, and that's how I felt for the first time.
Yeah.
I actually felt like a mother. And also when I was seeing all the students, how they were dressed and how they were acting, and then some of the things that they were doing,
it was live.
I felt extremely mature.
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie.
Woo.
Georgia State University football team.
Oh,
you guys were amazing.
Yes.
I mean,
we won.
Yeah, we actually won, but how y'all performed was
hard.
It was, man, I'm talking about y'all were aggressive, y'all was hitting fast. I mean, to me, this was like the best football game I done seen in the history of Georgia State University football life.
I think they take it more seriously.
I'm talking about, man, look, man, you guys look good. To be honest with you, I was in tune to the game. I was like, oh, okay. You know, it was, I didn't want to leave. The only reason why we left, I think we left about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And it was because the kids they were starting to go to sleep. So I was like, and by the time we got them to their home, it was after 12 o'clock. But the halftime show was cool. Yeah. I even like when they had cut off the lights, because at first I was like, oh man, I was thinking about the Super Bowl when the Falcons played and the lights went off, right? I was like, oh man, somebody turned off the lights. What happened? But then, man, you heard this noise. Then you start seeing these blue sticks.
Yeah.
And everybody would, and then you seen the Panthers' eyes, like it was on the big screen up top, man. It was, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It was a great experience. It was a great family environment as well. And I saw a lot of people that I know from Georgia State, faculty, staff. I even saw some of the maintenance people and police officers. Man, I know everybody at Georgia State, be honest with you. So it was good to see everyone and just to hug on them, and just like, you know, I was happy to see them. They was happy to see me. But most importantly, we wanted the kids in our mentoring program to get exposed to something like this, because we want to sow a seed in them. Like, these are the type of things that you do when you go and you obtain a secondary degree. And so we believe that we moving in the right direction with these kids. Now, they are some in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So even though they're young, we just believe that this is a more impactful stage to really impact them kids. And it was, you know, it was a great event, man. I was so excited. Yeah, man.
They enjoyed themselves. They were happy.
And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. So we were sitting down, and that song from
Sexy Red.
Listen, let me tell you something. Now, it was some little girls that was in like a cheerleading dance group or whatever.
Were young, though.
And they were young, and they were turned up.
Not elementary, maybe.
No, they were middle school. Yeah, they were middle school. They were turned up. I'm talking about.
They knew every word to every song.
Now,
that came on.
Let me tell you what happened to girls in our program. They had looked back at me, and they saw me, and I gave them that look. And I say, you bet not. And they know. And see, that's what I like. I like the respect that they give me, and they understand the level of expectation that I have for them. You don't be acting like no thought. That's not what we do at the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. We act like civilized, respectful young boys and young girls, because you represent not only your family, but you representing the brand. And the brand is P, because that's what we pushing: premium, professionalism. We pushing it all. and I ain't having it. And so that made me feel good that they looked back at me first before, and I gave them that look, and they knew not to, act like those young girls. Even though they young, they do what they do, but when you with us, it's a certain way that you conduct yourself. So I was real proud of them. They conducted themselves very well.
They did.
We didn't have any type of behavior problems with none of the kids. It was just a great experience. Like, that's something that I haven't experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just to take the kids, and then, oh, babe, we got to talk about how the van situation. No?
Oh, yeah, we can. But I also want to add on that the majority of our mentees in their program more so need to have, now some of them do have their fathers in their life, but some of them don't. For whatever reason, either they're not in the house, they are a part, or they're not. So really the majority of our mentees have the mother and have the sisters and may have the aunties, but they just don't have that male figure.
No, at all.
So that's one of the main reasons why, besides you just being you and your anointing and just the person that you are, that people are attracted to you.
Don't gas me up like that.
So for me, I just have that motherly and the servant, and I do speak from time to time. But like I tell everybody, I know my place. So most of the time it's Stafford that's like, now I'm not going to lie. Now, I don't do anything to contradict what Stafford has said or what I have said or what we're trying to do.
No, what we're doing.
What we're doing. But I do let them be kids. And I let them run because I knew they needed to have that energy, so that when there wasn't anybody up there, I did let them run or whatever. I think that's why the young girl was so happy to be riding with me when you told her who was going to ride with me, because they could just talk. And at the same time, when they're talking, I listen. And then if there's certain things that I hear, I may or may not say anything then, but I will communicate with my husband so I can go ahead and put him on game, because they'll just.
Yeah. But see, baby, that's why we you feel what I'm saying? We team Stafford. You dig what I'm saying? That's why we So I was so thankful. I was just so thankful to God for just blessing us. Actually, people are watching us, and we're not even noticing that people are paying attention to what we're doing in the community. And it's like, we got to get a little bit more active and posting stuff. But I'm from that old school, whereas word of mouth, and if stuff is sincere in your heart, you don't need to be broadcasting it. You know what I mean? People by word of mouth will say, hey, Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program is doing this and doing that. And so, but I understand that we live in a different time, and people like to see things on social media. So definitely we're going to improve on that.
That's why Miss Sharika was reached out, because she also mentioned, she said, don't see that we don't see what you and your husband are doing. They might not respond or say anything right away, but at the right time,
but they see
if God moves them to do something like Miss Sharika, and then we're working on something else with her too. So, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Then we're going to see. So yes.
Hey, you know what, baby? I ain't going to lie. So I got a partner named Trap. Well, his name is Dr. Travis Barber, and he is doing an amazing work in the community on the other side of town. And it was something that I saw today that just, I remember
you told me about it.
It kind of made me feel some type of way.
Yeah.
So
maybe, but then you got to think of it. Maybe he wasn't supposed to do that, or maybe he could have done that, but he just didn't. I try not to, when things like that happen, you know how I'm trying to train my mind, even though I might fall short. Was it really supposed to happen? Or if it was supposed to happen, did he listen to God? Did he miss the mark? Because sometimes people may hear from God and God will say, do this, but then they don't. And we've experienced that. Sometimes maybe they just didn't want to because it's from envy, being envy and jealous. because they're slipping on what they're supposed to be doing?
I
Could it
can
be a mixture
agree.
of
Yeah,
both?
it's a mixture of both. And the reason why I say that is because they paying Trap. Trap getting,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so, in the same type of relationship that I thought we had with the principal at Panola Way was the same relationship that Trap has, excuse me, my bad, bro. Dr. Barber has with Kip, the principal over at Kip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
who's the principal?
I don't know, it's a brother. It's a brother.
Mm.
So anyway, Trap had, I don't know why I keep calling the boy Trap, man. My bad, bro. I'm tighten up. Dr. Barber had received some tickets to the Hawk game.
Yeah.
So the principal at Kip got him a bus.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we were doing our thing over at Panola, we didn't see that type of effort.
No, because you did ask.
I asked. Matter of fact, I knew that I wasn't going to get anywhere with him. So I went and contacted the transportation department at the DeKalb County School District. But then the superintendent in his area, his district, got in contact with him. And then he contacted me and he say, well, if you want something done, you got to come through me. And I'm not used to doing that because I'm a mover and shaker. When I need something done, I go talk to the decision maker. I'm a boss. That's what we do. So this protocol thing and chain of command, I humbly submitted to it because I wanted to show him that I respect his authority. But every time I do business, I'm always talking to the decision maker. I've always done that. The reason why is when you go to the decision maker, either he'll make a decision or he'll send it to the person to help you to get what you need. But when you talk to a middle person, they are always equipped and trained to say no, or else, get in, feel,
script.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They just, mess up the whole situation. But I had felt some type of way because everything that me and my wife have given to that school, and not one have they, I don't even realize, I don't really think they appreciate it, to be honest with you, Sheila. That's just my humble opinion. I just feel like when you don't pay for something, you don't value it.
Yeah.
But when you pay for something, you value it because you work for that money.
Yeah.
And it's not like you out in the streets, you trapping, and you don't have no respect for that money.
But it's almost like it's a catch-22. You just said that if you're not getting paid for it, or if they're not paying for it, then they're not going to respect it. But then when you bring up the payment, it's almost like,
oh, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's an issue.
So it's like you caught in the middle.
But you know what though? It was a learning experience for us.
Yeah, and I think that we were supposed to go that route.
I do.
At that time, with that school, go through it that way for that season.
Yeah.
So I don't feel
bad
about it.
I don't feel like what we did for the kids was a mistake.
No.
I knew that it was a short season. It was designed for us to get what we need to add credibility and move on. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so when we moved on, then that's when Sharika came and blessed us. You feel what I'm saying? Out of the blue.
Yes.
She was like, okay, boom. But let me tell you how the enemy tries to stop God's plan for your life. And when this situation happened...
Which situation are you going to talk about? You talking about the van or with the guy?
The guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Sheesh.
So this past Saturday, no, it was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday. It was at nighttime.
So I had to go my wife had to go get her nails repolished and everything, because we just Staffords. We push it P, so we had to get laced up. So we in a nail salon, and this is a nail salon that we normally go to, and we know everybody in there. They know us, we just regulars or whatever. So when we enter into the building, there was a gentleman outside. Now, I didn't seen him before over at Walmart, in front of Walmart. And so I never paid him. I saw him, but I just kept it moving. But this time it was a little bit different. So my wife walked in, I walked in behind her. The owner said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" He welcomed us very well, told us to, y'all sit in the front. And normally, if you're not getting manicure and pedicure, you can't sit in the seats that they, use to, perform the services. He said, "No, you go sit over there next to your wife." So me and my wife, we were having discussion. We were just, man, we were just having good fellowship, basically. We were just chopping it up, having a good time. And so when they finished, my wife was standing up by the door, and I was looking at her, and we was continuing to talk because I was just relaxing in the chair or whatever. And so the dude came in. Now, prior to that, he was just walking back and forth in front of the window, doing all crazy stuff, just trying to get my attention, but I ain't paying him no attention, to be honest with you.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, because you was this way and I was
Yeah.
looking that way. So I was looking out, outside the window.
Okay.
So anyway, the dude come in and he comes into the store. My wife's standing here and he just comes in and he just stands in front of my wife. Now, mind you, when I look, I was like, hey, bro, that's my wife, bro. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like when I be reading my word and they be talking about these demons and so forth, and it was like a spiritual demon came and it stopped like right in front of Sheila's face, and he was like, but the spirit of God was on my wife so strong that it didn't go any further. But I immediately stood up and like, "Hey, bro, that's my wife, bro. What you doing, bro?" Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a violation. Like, my wife didn't do nothing to him. I didn't do nothing to him. So I jumped up. So he went outside.
He did it again on his way out after when you got up. So he got up in my face again.
Oh yeah, that's when I was like, that's when I had to think. I had to think about the spiritual gloves, the same spiritual gloves that I tell these kids to focus to activate. I had to think about them spiritual gloves.
But I didn't know he had what he had in his
So
hand,
then
though.
he had. So I knew he was from the chain gang. He just had that institutionalized look about him. Just just how he carried himself. So anyway, he, you know what I'm saying, he went outside and had a knife and
I thought
he
he
fixed
had
it.
one when he came up.
Oh yeah. So anyway, when he came up to my wife, I looked down, man, he had a knife in his hand, like it was like a shank. I'm like, bro, that's when I jumped up, like, "Hey, bro." So he went outside and then he was like, "What you want to do?" I say, "Hey, bro, I don't want no problems." So I said I don't want no problems to de-escalate the situation. I just called 911 on. I said, "Man, I'm calling 12 on this dude. I ain't even finna get involved with this here." So then I'm saying to myself, like, I understand, like, up until that point, I'm one to never consider about carrying a concealed weapon legally, right? Because I always felt like, man, that's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but it puts me in the mindset of way back in the day, the Western days, when everybody used to walk around with guns and they holsters and all that other type stuff. So, now we getting to that point. But the point that I'm making is I never thought about actually carrying a gun until that day. But then at the same time, God knows me, I would have probably discharged that firearm as soon as he went up on my wife with that. I would have just I would have fired at him, bro, just straight up.
I need to get some mace, though.
You know what I'm saying? And like, there is a serious issue of mental health that's going on in our community. Like, it's a real problem. Just like the young lady that we thought was on the phone,
yeah,
but she was talking to herself. I'm talking about we in the parking lot at Walmart, and we were just sitting there talking, and we heard this young lady just going at it. And I'm like, "Baby, go talk to her." She was like, "Yeah, I think that's what God telling me to go do." So Sheila goes and talk to the woman or whatever. They over there for about 10, 15 minutes. So she come back. And I was like, Sheila, so who was she on the phone with? She wasn't on the phone with nobody. I said, baby, you lying. She said, yeah. I said, man. And the young lady had a tent. She had a tent right next to the bus stop. And that's another.
She moved.
Yeah.
She's not there anymore.
Oh, she not?
Mm-mm. Because
Okay.
when we went over there, when we went over there Saturday, I had looked over there because remember you had to go there in the morning time to go get you something.
Oh yeah.
I looked over there, so her tent wasn't there
okay,
anymore.
She wasn't there. Okay, so I pray and hope that she's in a safe situation because it's dangerous over there for real.
But I just want to say one thing though, with the knife, the shank situation.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody else the situation, and I did have an understanding of how things can happen so quick. Like when kids get shot, you hear when people get shot or stabbed or run over, and you're just there. You didn't do anything to anybody. You're a harmless person. You're just there, unfortunately, at the wrong time,
At the wrong place.
at the wrong place, at the wrong time. And now I did have an understanding, but I have more of an understanding of how quick
it can escalate.
that someone can literally lose their life because you saw that he had something in his hand. I didn't see it. I was looking at him, at his face, because I really thought I was going to have to fight. So I was already had my mind up. Okay, Sheila, you're going to have to protect yourself and be real quick. That was my thinking. But just as quick as so many people whom we know and whom we don't know around the world that was just innocent and just lost their life for no reason. And that's why I do pray for everybody. I just apply the blood of Jesus over everybody around the world. And when things do happen like that, we do have empathy for families who have lost loved ones. So just prayer goes out to everyone, and just be careful out there. Be on your P's and Q's. And I'm gonna be honest with you, since that's happened, I feel some type of way, meaning I don't like when men touch me. I have to be okay with you.
I can touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do more than that.
Yes. And
respectfully,
it's been lately that the men are walking so much closer to me. And now I've always had an issue with that, but it's like ever since that situation, it's like they just don't want to move out of the way. So now it's like I'm more on guard than ever before. But I'm gonna keep my mouth closed, but I feel some type of way. It's like I have anger. That's like, dude.
That's a violation, man.
You all in
the person donut space.
Don't just stay away from me. Like, don't get close to me. Like, but then at the same time, you have to be careful. And you can even be nice. Like when I say excuse me.
And thank you for using your spiritual gloves.
Oh, I have to, because I'm thinking about the consequences.
And, just to piggyback on what you were saying, I've been sharing with my wife. I said, baby, listen. Now, some people may get mad, and it is what it is. Majority of the women today, they look the same. Even though physically they may look different, but spiritually they look the same. And I explained to my wife that when men see you, they don't see what they see in everyday life. Like how you look and how you carry yourself it's a huge difference. Us men, we can categorize a woman. We can say, oh, she's cute or she's fine. But then when we see a woman that has the complete package and say, man, she's beautiful, meaning that her spirit, how she carried herself, she's not conceited. I mean, it just like, she's just a beautiful person. And that's what you are. You are a beautiful person. And so like, men are not seeing that on a day-to-day basis. And when your spirit is lined up with God, it attracts. It even attracts the enemy, because the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And so, like, when I saw that guy get up in your face like that, I was like, what? And I jumped up immediately, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, what you doing? You feel what I'm saying? And like, I know that we're in a times now where people just will sit there and not do nothing. You know what I mean? And it's like back in the day, when someone was doing something out of character, it'll be like 30, 40 people just stand up and like, hey, bro, you wrong. Hey, bro, or it'll just go to another level. But the point I'm making is that you have to be on your P's and Q's out here. And I think that oftentimes we see things on the internet and we read things, but when it hit close to home, it feels a little different. Like, this is one of those situations where it could have went totally left real quick had I made an incorrect decision. If I would have used these instead of my spiritual gloves in here, then I would have put myself in a situation to be harmed and my wife to be harmed. And then it would derail what God was trying to do and bless the kids to get exposed to the Georgia State homecoming game. So I saw the big picture in this whole situation. And I was like thankful for our prayer time. I was thankful for our biblical time,
our angels,
our ministering angels covering. Like, every time when we pray, like all the prayers that we've been praying for so long, I just saw them manifest in that situation. I was calm.
I was calm too.
I heard the Spirit of God speaking to me on how to address the situation. I saw him as a jealous and envious spirit, meaning like you look a certain way and you carry a certain and you carry yourself a certain way, and then your wife, she's fly. So you fly too, because game recognize game all day long. A player recognize a player. And when I say player, I don't mean a womanizer. It just, he's a distinguished gentleman. He's very groomed. It's just how he carries himself. So, and they see my wife is beautiful, and it's like that jealousy and envious spirit that comes to attack. And so, like, I just thank God that I listened to him, and as a result, we put in place a boundary where he can no longer come on that property. And I was explaining to the owner, I said, listen, man, we patronize with you. And not only for me, but for the rest of these women that come in here, they need to feel safe that when they come and they, purchase your services, that when they getting their services done by your business, they have to be in a safe environment, and it's your responsibility. And the other thing that I had admired about the situation was a lot of times when I see Asian men talk to black men, it's not good. It's a level of disrespect. Like, they don't have no respect. Like, the Asian man don't have no respect for the black man. But how I carry myself, and he's watched me for a period of time, he showed me the utmost respect, and then he ended up calling the police too.
And he walked us both to the van.
And he walked us to our vehicles afterwards to make sure that we was going to get into our vehicles safe.
And apologize. He actually had his hand on the guy's arm.
Yeah.
He had to escort him out 3 times because the guy kept on coming back in.
Yeah, because the guy was trying to come back into the store where we were at to try to attack us.
Yeah.
But the Asian owner stepped in, like, hey, you're not going in there, leave him, whoop, whoop, whoop. So I appreciate that. But I told him that he should have removed him from the property long time ago. He shouldn't feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying, asking for people for this and that. I mean, it makes people feel uncomfortable. But then he talking about he a blood and all that other type stuff, and asked me, do I live over here in the neighborhood and I ain't welcome in the hood no more? I said, man, boy, stop, bro. I was just thinking about it in my mind. I was saying, man, how institutionalized this dude is talking about the hood. No, bro, you don't even have a place to stay over there.
I don't even know why they say you can't come over here,
Bruh,
and you don't even own any land.
You don't own no land. You don't rent an apartment.
You just try to intimidate people.
That's that jail. That's that
spray paint.
Yeah, that's that penitentiary.
Buildings.
Yeah, that's that penitentiary in him. You know what I'm saying? And I recognize it in him. But I just thank God for just giving us the wisdom. I thank him for his ministering angels protecting us from that situation. I just thank God for the maturity to understand where we are and how to conduct. Because oftentimes people read the word of God, but then when they under that extreme pressure, the word of God don't come out of them. So even in that situation, we didn't panic. Yeah. We were just listening. Like Abraham succeeded because he listened and obeyed God. You see what I'm saying? And so like I was just listening. Okay, Lord, I ain't fit to do this, do that. I ain't use no profanity. I ain't raise my voice at him or whatever. I just called the police. And then it was a Fulton County sheriff. Yeah. She was very professional. Yeah. And she was like, do you want me to stay until the police came? We were like, nah, don't worry about it. We're gonna go back in to the nail salon. Now we were in DeKalb County, but she was in Fulton County. And so I want to say like there are good and bad people in every walks of life. And I really don't believe that we should talk about defunding the police.
Oh, we need the police.
And a lot of times things happen because of lack of training, or that person did get the proper training and did not abide to those training that they received. And so they took it upon themselves to step outside those boundaries. But I think it's so foolish if you talk about defunding the police. And the reason why it took so long for the police to come to that particular location was because there is a shortage of police officers. But anytime something goes wrong, the first person you call is the police. 911.
Someone please call 911.
Now, I admit, I stand before you wholeheartedly in a humble position and saying that, man, there are some corrupt police officers. But we should not talk about defunding the police officer. Defunding the police. We should really have enough resources available to have police officers available when we need them. Now I'm gonna tell you
more anyway.
Now I'm gonna tell you, and I can only speak, because I live in Georgia, in Atlanta, metropolitan Atlanta. But when you go to Cobb County and you call the police, they there.
Oh yeah.
When you go to Kennesaw, Ackworth, Douglasville, all that, even when you go to Conyers, you call the police, they there. DeKalb County, Fulton County, it's a problem because, folks don't want to be a police officer for whatever reason. But I don't think that we should ever talk about defunding the police officer. No matter if they do something wrong, they need to be held accountable. And the police chief should not stand up for a police officer if that police officer do something wrong. Sure. There has to be a level of accountability, and that's how you win the confidence of the community, because you see the police chief stand up and hold that police officer accountable for what he or she did that didn't align with the code and the oath that they took to swear to serve and protect the community. But when these police officers don't, hold each other accountable, and you allow police officers to do with inappropriate conduct, and it continues and continues, and then that same police officer has a track record of misconduct, end up killing someone, then that's when I got a problem. But I don't think that we should defund the police. I think that we should increase more training, and we need to hold these bad police officer accountable. Just like when you work in a corporation, and if an employee do something wrong, HR gonna get involved, and they're gonna make a decision whether or not this employee is in the best interest of the company, and they'll make a decision. If they not, a representation of the company, they discard them. We need to do the same thing with police officers. But I'm for police officers. Let me be clear. I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying and take it any kind of way, because I know sometimes people take what you say and twist it. So don't chop and screw this any other type of way, but in the way it's supposed to be. I like the police officer. For real. Matter of fact, I was speaking to Officer Greer from DeKalb County yesterday, because he graduated from Marshall, and we was talking about how Georgia State Panthers was eating buffalo meat, and it was sweet.
You stupid.
It was sweet. So I have police officers that are good friends of mine, and I don't have no issue with them. And I'm not gonna sit up here and say that all my life I've been on this side of even when I was out there younger doing crazy stuff, I still always had respect for police officers, because at the end of the day, a police officer just want to go home after they shift. They try to make it home. That's a job. But I don't think we need to defund the police officer. It's just me. What you think, babe?
I agree, but I want to say about the boxing fitness classes that I do train through the Stafford Boxing Gym LLC.
At Georgia State University.
Yes. And the boxing fitness as well as the spin. Now, I do my spin class different from other spin teachers. So the classes, both of my classes are for an hour. So for my spin, yes, we are on the bike. I'll switch up. We'll do some hit. We'll do some whatever it is that I want to do on the bike, some push-ups, work on our biceps and triceps, and doing the running and the squatting on the bike. But I also have them to get off the bike and they'll do some body workout, abs, back, some legs, glutes, or whatever. So I just put them to work. With the boxing fitness, same thing. Well, I don't have them to get on the bike, but it's half and half. Of course, the fitness part, you have to get to work on that strength and conditioning, and you have to work on that endurance. So when they start hitting the bag or the speed bag or the coaching pads, hey, you can't even tap out. You can't even play with it.
Oh, babe, I forgot. Man, shout out to Dylan. Man, listen,
I was thinking about that
man,
too.
listen,
Dylan and his brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law. Listen, we had two photographers to capture that moment for us at Georgia State University Homecoming 2023. And when I tell you these boys came, man, they came ready. They had about 5 or 6 lenses that they were just changing. I'm talking about, man, listen, man, the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program, it's a premier mentoring program. We are top tier. We are P premium. We are P positive. We are P persistence in education and character,
financial literacy,
spiritual gloves. You see what I'm saying? Got to have them spiritual gloves, man. And see.
Oh, don't forget to talk about Melvin. You gonna bring up Melvin?
Oh yeah, man! Shout out to ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am privileged and honored to introduce and announce the chairman of the board of directors for the Stafford Boxing Club, Mr. Melvin J. Everson. Man, we moving up. We got a chairman of the board. Melvin brings a wealth of experience and leadership. He is an Army veteran. He has served our country. He is a distinguished gentleman from Gwinnett County. He is known. I mean, he is known. He is a mentor of mine. And I'm truly honored that he took this position to be the chairman for the board of directors. He's going to put together the rest of the 5 board of directors for the Stafford Boxing Club. And I'm just excited. Like I don't know what to say, baby. Help me out. I'm lost for words. I mean, that's kind of rare for me to be lost for words,
I
but
know, right?
uh,
Really? Wow.
I don't know, baby. Come on, fill in the
I
blank for
mean,
me.
we're excited. We're grateful. It's we're just slowly but surely moving on to the next level. So we will be able to get even more resources
And do more things for
and
the
do more
kids,
things
for
for
more
the
kids.
yes, in our mentoring program. And we're here, and we're, believe me, we're working on everything that we can work on and do everything that we can do for the kids, because when you help the kids, you help the families. When you help the kids and the families, then you help the community.
Okay.
So within the community, everybody start coming together, seeing the changes with the kids, seeing the changes with the families, and then the crime rate will start going down because the kids have a safe place, a safe haven to go to, where they have the resources to continue their education to where they are at now. And then when they exceed in life, whether it's going to be a 4-year university or if they just need to get
A trade.
a trade.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're going to be introducing them to them as well, because we know not all our mentees is going to want to go, or it's just not meant for them
To
to
go to
be,
Georgia
to
State.
Georgia
Yeah.
State a 4-year.
So
So
they
we have to introduce them at least where they can have a trade, because a lot of those trades like plumbing and electricians, they do make a lot of money. And then in the
and
automobile
and
business,
electronics and
yes, yes,
cybersecurity.
right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
So another thing about Melvin, he is vice president of economic development. So what Melvin does is that he goes out and he establishes relationships with these corporations, and then he tells the corporations that at Gwinnett Tech, where he's the executive vice president at, when the kids graduate from that technical school, that they are job ready to come in and perform the job description that these companies are listing. So that's one of the things about, the Stafford Boxing Club, is the relationships that we have not only with Georgia State, but also with Gwinnett Tech through Melvin J. Everson, who is the chairman of the board of directors for the Stafford Boxing Club. Man, Chairman Everson.
Facts.
Yes, Lord. Man. Well, today is kind of short day. We got some things that we want to get done, but we appreciate you guys for tuning in live.
Always.
And for those that will tune into the Stafford show, we appreciate you guys.
Stafford Show Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. And we want to thank Eric and Graham for doing all the hard work behind the scenes to continue to rise in the ranking of top boxing podcasts on the internet. So we number 9. We was number 10 about a week ago, but now we number 9 this week. So we plan on moving up. We want that number 1 spot, and we for real, because we are Stafford Boxing,
the making of champions.